Hello, my name is Kai and welcome to the Theoretical YouTube channel where I need to get this video out by Christmas. I have like 5 days and I'm currently recovering from surgery, so I have no time to waste. Every holiday season I like to kick back, relax, and think about some complicated math and physics to figure out some ridiculous question about the holidays. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and in those years I've figured out how many calories Santa eats in cookies, and whether that's enough energy to pull a sleigh to every house in the world, how loud your family would have to yell at each other over Thanksgiving dinner in order to cook the turkey, and some neat tricks to use math in order to gain the advantage and win at Christmas. But this year I wanted to do something a bit different. You see, while brainstorming ideas for the video I would come up with this year, I happened to watch the movie Die Hard. If you don't know, Die Hard is a 1988 Bruce Willis film about a New York City detective who has to save an entire building of hostages in Los Angeles on Christmas Eve. But what makes Die Hard so good is that it actually uses the action as a backdrop for the more personal, introspective character growth, a rare thing to find in the action genre in the 80s. So I wanted to use Die Hard as the topic for a video, but I couldn't really come up with anything good for it. The best I could think of was like, how many explosives would be needed to make that explosion? Or how many explosives would be needed to make that explosion? Or, yeah, you get it. Then there's the fact that a lot of people don't actually think that Die Hard counts as a Christmas movie, which is where I came up with the idea scientifically proving that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. But the only way to accurately do that would be to come up with some grand unified theory of Christmas, or to have a large enough data set to accurately generalize the summary of what makes a Christmas movie. But while I don't have the power, time, or public draw to do any of that, something else was just released recently that does. So this year for our STEM-related holiday video, I will be testing whether or not I can convince an AI that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. On November 30th of 2022, OpenAI, the company that's been working on Whisper, a speech-to-text AI, Dall-e and Dall-e 2, a text-to-image AI, released ChatGPT, which is sort of like a text-to-text AI. Essentially, ChatGPT is a chatbot. You can ask it questions, have a conversation with it, have it write things in a certain style, or even have it write code. Seriously, one of the most powerful things this thing can do is write code based on just an English description of what you want it to do. It's amazing. This is a super powerful tool for anyone who has to write anything on a consistent basis, because of its fluency with the language and its ability to write a lot based on a relatively short prompt. That being said, it isn't always factually correct, and it can be quite biased when speaking on its opinion on something. But it's exactly that bias that we're going to capitalize on today. You see, the way these AIs work is that they are trained on millions of conversations and texts from the internet. Or, as ChatGPT puts it,
I was trained on a large and diverse dataset of texts from the internet, including articles, books, and websites.
Using this dataset, ChatGPT is trained by two methods: supervised learning and reinforcement learning. Once again, we'll have ChatGPT explain how each of these work. Supervised learning.
Imagine you're trying to teach a young child how to behave in social situations. You might give them examples of appropriate behavior, such as saying please and thank you, and examples of inappropriate behavior, such as talking loudly or interrupting others. The child would learn to behave appropriately by imitating the good examples and avoiding the bad ones.
Reinforcement learning.
Imagine you're trying to teach a dog to sit on command. You might reward the dog with a treat every time it sits when you say sit, and punish it by saying no every time it doesn't sit when you say sit. The dog would learn to sit on command by being reinforced for doing it correctly and punished for doing it incorrectly.
Man, I love this thing. It's able to write perfect explanations in like 10 seconds that would take me 20 minutes to write. It's amazing. Now, since both of these training techniques are heavily dependent on their data, they can be extremely biased if the data is biased. For instance, if the labels for supervised learning happen to have more Yankees articles labeled as good than Red Sox articles, then the model is more likely to prefer Yankees over Red Sox. Or if the humans overseeing the reinforcement learning happen to reward it more for Red Sox than Yankees, then it will happen to prefer Red Sox over Yankees. And neither of these biases are really avoidable. Maybe there are just more good articles relating to the Yankees than the Red Sox, or maybe the AI just generated more good responses when relating to the Red Sox than the Yankees. What are you gonna do, just label them as bad to offset the bias? But for our purposes, we actually want to take advantage of these biases. As ChatGPT puts it,
it may be beneficial to use the biases of a neural network to determine the biases of the data it was trained on because the neural network is a reflection of the data it was trained on. If the neural network is biased, it is likely that the data it was trained on was also biased.
And so my plan is to use the biases hidden in ChatGPT regarding whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not in order to determine the biases of the data it was trained on. And since it was trained on such a wide variety of
articles, books, and websites,
these biases will show the biases of the entire internet. So theoretically, if I was able to convince ChatGPT that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then I'd be able to convince anyone that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, right? First, let's begin by directly asking it. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is often considered a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The plot revolves around a group of terrorists who take over a high-rise office building in Los Angeles and the efforts of the main character, John McClane, to stop him and save his wife and other hostages. Despite the setting and themes, Die Hard is primarily an action thriller rather than a holiday movie, and it has become a classic in the action genre.
That's not very definitive. Let's try a different approach. I want to see what its best and worst arguments for Die Hard being a Christmas movie are. What is the best argument you can come up with to defend why Die Hard is not a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is not typically considered a Christmas movie because it is an action thriller with intense fight scenes and narrow escapes, rather than a film centered around Christmas themes or traditions. The tone is also violent and intense, with characters being killed and injured throughout the story, rather than warm and joyous like many Christmas movies. The themes of family and redemption are also not central to the plot, and the setting of a high-rise office building is not typical of Christmas movies. Overall, while Die Hard takes place on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, it is not a traditional holiday movie.
Alright, now what is the best argument you can come up with to defend why Die Hard is a Christmas movie?
Die Hard could be considered a Christmas movie because it takes place on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and has Christmas-themed elements such as decorations, carols, and holiday parties, which give it a festive atmosphere. It also touches on themes of family, redemption, and coming together during the holidays, which are often present in Christmas movies. Its cultural significance is a popular choice to watch during the holiday season, and its reputation as a Christmas movie also contribute to its status as a holiday film. While it is not a traditional feel-good holiday movie, it does have moments of humor, warmth, and heart that balance out the intense action and violence, adding to its overall festive atmosphere.
Now that's interesting. You see, both of these explanations seem to contradict each other, because both say that the setting and theme are either a point for Die Hard being a Christmas movie, or a point against it being a Christmas movie, but how can they be both? So I asked it how this was possible.
Setting and themes can be good arguments both for and against Die Hard's status as a Christmas movie because they can be interpreted in different ways. For instance, the themes of family, redemption, and coming together during the holidays are often present in Christmas movies and can be seen as supporting the film's status as a holiday movie. However, these themes are not central to the plot of Die Hard and are not particularly emphasized, which could be seen as an argument against the film being a Christmas movie.
And here is the first instance of something that would come up very often when speaking to ChatGPT about Die Hard. It would say that the themes of family, redemption, and coming together were not central to the plot. This just doesn't sit right with me. I mean, anyone who's actually seen the movie would know that they are totally the main focus of the film. I mean, the whole terrorist attack and action are just a catalyst to set John McClane on his journey of self-discovery. So clearly this AI hasn't actually seen the movie and is coming up with its own interpretation of what it is. Anyway, let's try a different approach. Here I tried to get it to compare Die Hard to a very similar movie, Home Alone. So I asked it to explain the plots of each of these movies, and it did. So then I followed up with, as both of these movies are about people defending a building from robbers during the holidays, would you consider these movies to be fairly similar?
Home Alone and Die Hard are different in genre, tone, and plot. Home Alone is a family comedy about a young boy defending his home from burglars, while Die Hard is an action thriller about a detective rescuing hostages from terrorists in a high-rise building. Home Alone is lighthearted and geared towards children, while Die Hard is intense and violent, targeting adults.
Okay, but what about the messages of each film? Aren't they both primarily about the main characters learning to love their families unconditionally?
Both Home Alone and Die Hard do have themes of family and love, but they approach these themes in very different ways.
Now, with both of these movies focusing on themes of family and love, and both being set during Christmas time with plenty of references, songs, and motifs, do both of these movies have an equal claim to be Christmas movies?
Home Alone and Die Hard are set during the holiday season and contain Christmas elements and themes, but they differ in genre and tone. Home Alone is a family comedy centered on Christmas Eve and features many Christmas references and themes of family, love, and forgiveness. Die Hard is an action thriller with Christmas elements and themes of family and love, but is known for its intense action and violence. Whether a movie is considered a Christmas movie can depend on personal interpretation and definition.
Still no real solid answer. Okay, this time let's try to see exactly what ChatGPT is looking for in a Christmas movie. What sort of elements do you think are necessary for a movie to have in order to classify it as a Christmas movie?
There are a few elements that are commonly associated with Christmas movies. A holiday setting. Many Christmas movies take place during the holiday season, often featuring festive decorations, Christmas trees, and other holiday imagery. A holiday theme. Christmas movies often have a central theme that relates to the holiday, such as the importance of family, the true meaning of Christmas, or the magic of the season. Holiday traditions. Christmas movies often feature traditional holiday activities such as gift-giving, carol singing, and decorating the Christmas tree. A heartwarming or uplifting story. Many Christmas movies have a positive, uplifting message, and often revolve around themes of love, forgiveness, and redemption. A happy ending. Christmas movies often have a happy or satisfying resolution, with characters finding resolution to their conflicts and learning valuable lessons along the way. Overall, a movie that includes these elements and takes place during the holiday season is often considered a Christmas movie.
Alright, this should all be good. If I'm not mistaken, Die Hard checks off everything on this list. It's set during Christmas Eve, its main themes are family and redemption, it's got plenty of traditions, like decorating a Christmas tree or Santa hats, it has a heartwarming-ish story, and it has a happy ending. So it should have no problem defining it as such, right? Alas, not necessarily. When asked what would make a movie that has all of these elements not considered a Christmas movie, it had this to say.
The classification of a movie as a Christmas movie is subjective and can depend on individual criteria and personal interpretation. While movies that include elements such as a holiday setting, theme, traditions, heartwarming or uplifting story, and happy ending are likely to be considered Christmas movies by many people, a movie may not be considered a Christmas movie by some even if it includes these elements. This can be the case if the movie is not set during the holiday season or if it has a darker or a more cynical tone that does not fit the traditional feel-good nature of many Christmas movies. Ultimately, whether a movie is considered a Christmas movie is a matter of personal interpretation.
Not great. But okay, let's try a completely different approach to try to get it to express its true opinions about Die Hard's Christmassiness, along with some other movies I've been wondering about. If I were to give you a list of movies, could you sort them into Christmas movies and non-Christmas movies?
Sure. I'd be happy to help you sort a list of movies into Christmas movies and non-Christmas movies. Could you provide me with a list of movies that you'd like me to sort?
Can you sort Jaws, The Santa Claus, Star Wars, Rambo, Snow White, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Die Hard, Elf, It's a Wonderful Life, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Frozen, and Citizen Kane?
Sure. Here's your list of movies sorted into Christmas movies and non-Christmas movies. Christmas movies: The Santa Claus, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Elf, It's a Wonderful Life. Frozen. Non-Christmas movies: Jaws, Star Wars, Rambo, Snow White, Die Hard, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Citizen Kane. I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions or if you'd like me to sort any other lists for you.
Dang, I really thought I would get it with that Snow White one. But this is actually a really interesting list altogether. Most importantly, I'd like to point out, it sorted Frozen into the Christmas movie category, even though Frozen has nothing to do with Christmas and in fact takes place in the middle of July. The rest of this conversation is actually really interesting. You see, I completely abandoned my quest to figure out what it thought about Die Hard in favor of this Frozen mistake, so I asked it to explain itself on why it thought Frozen was a Christmas movie. And it went on to explain about themes of love and family and stuff, but it specifically pointed out that Frozen has a Christmas celebration during the plot of the film. And I don't know about you, but I don't remember that happening unless you're counting like Olaf's holiday special, but I don't. Are you sure there is a Christmas celebration in Frozen? I don't seem to remember one. What happens during it?
I apologize for the confusion. Upon rewatching Frozen, I realized that there is not a Christmas celebration in the movie. My mistake. I apologize for the error in my previous response. Please disregard my previous statement about Frozen including a Christmas celebration. I apologize for any confusion this may have caused. Let me know if you have any other questions.
And then I asked if it could recategorize Frozen as a non-Christmas movie, and it agreed. All is right with the world. Wait, what were we actually talking about again? Oh yeah, it sorted Die Hard into the non-Christmas category. Alright, I've got one more idea on how to figure out exactly what's going on here. I'm going to use the same strategy we just did, but instead I'm only going to give it 2 movies, so we can really figure out what the difference it's seeing between this movie and a real Christmas movie. If I were to give you 2 movies, could you tell me if either or both of them are Christmas movies?
Yes, I can tell you whether or not a given movie is a Christmas movie.
Okay, the movies in question are Home Alone and Die Hard.
Home Alone is a Christmas movie. The movie takes place during the Christmas season and features several holiday-themed elements, such as Christmas decorations, Christmas carols, and gift-giving. Die Hard, on the other hand, is not a Christmas movie. While it does take place on Christmas Eve, it is not a holiday-themed film and does not feature any holiday-specific elements.
What does Home Alone have that Die Hard doesn't have that makes it a Christmas movie?
Home Alone is a Christmas movie because it is specifically centered around the Christmas holiday and features holiday-themed elements such as Christmas decorations, Christmas carols, and gift-giving. These elements play a significant role in the plot of the movie and help to create a festive holiday atmosphere. In contrast, Die Hard does not have any of these holiday-specific elements and is not a Christmas movie. While the movie does take place on Christmas Eve, this setting is incidental to the main plot and is not an important part of the film's themes or overall message. The setting of the movie on Christmas Eve is not integral to the plot and does not influence the themes or message of the film in any significant way.
Okay, so it essentially thinks that Home Alone is a Christmas movie and Die Hard is not, because Home Alone has Christmas more essential to its plot. But I mean, Christmas isn't even that essential to the plot of Home Alone, right? Would it be possible to make a version of Home Alone but remove the Christmas setting altogether, while still keeping the plot, themes, and message the film has to offer?
Yes, it is theoretically possible to create a version of Home Alone that is set in a different season or holiday and removes the Christmas-specific elements. However, doing so would likely change the tone and feel of the movie, as the Christmas setting and holiday-themed elements play a significant role in creating a festive atmosphere and contributing to the themes and messages of the film. Without these elements, the movie might not be as well integrated or effective.
If Home Alone were to be set around Thanksgiving time rather than Christmas time, with all references to Christmas replaced with references to Thanksgiving, but while retaining all the themes of joy, happiness, and forgiveness, would that film still be considered a Christmas movie?
If a version of Home Alone were to be set around Thanksgiving and all references to Christmas were replaced with references to Thanksgiving, it would not be considered a Christmas movie. A Christmas movie is typically defined as a film that is specifically centered around the Christmas holiday and that features holiday-themed elements such as Christmas decorations, Christmas carols, and gift-giving. If a movie is set around a different holiday and does not feature any of these Christmas-specific elements, it would not be considered a Christmas movie, even if it retains the themes of joy, family, and forgiveness that are often associated with the holiday season.
So removing the Christmas setting would invalidate the film as a Christmas movie, no matter how similar it is in all other aspects. If so, what about the inverted version of the question? Would removing the themes of joy, family, and forgiveness but retaining the Christmas setting, references, and motifs also make the film not considered a Christmas movie?
In order to be considered a Christmas movie, A film must typically be centered around the Christmas holiday and feature holiday-themed elements such as Christmas decorations, Christmas carols, and gift-giving. On the other hand, if a movie retains the Christmas setting, references, and motifs but does not feature the themes of joy, family, and forgiveness, it might still be considered a Christmas movie depending on how integral these themes are to the plot and overall message of the film. Some Christmas movies are more focused on the holiday setting and traditions, while others are more focused on the themes and messages associated with the holiday season. In general, a movie that is set around Christmas and features holiday-themed elements such as decorations and carols would be more likely to be considered a Christmas movie, even if it does not explicitly address themes of joy, family, and forgiveness.
Alright, now it's getting good. Here comes our real stinger. So let's say that there is an action, comedy, thriller film that is set during Christmas Eve with many references to Christmas trees, lights, music, and Santa. The main themes of this film are family, redemption, forgiveness, and anti-greed. Is that film likely to be considered a Christmas movie or not?
Based on the information you have provided, it is likely that a film that is set during Christmas Eve, features many references to the Christmas holiday, and has main themes of family, redemption, forgiveness, and anti-greed would be considered a Christmas movie by many people.
It's gotta accept it now. Alright, so now I'll tell you that the film I have been describing, set on Christmas Eve with many references to Christmas and Christmas-centric themes of family, redemption, forgiveness, and anti-greed, is the film Die Hard.
Die Hard is not typically considered a Christmas movie, even though it is set on Christmas Eve and features some references to the holiday. While Die Hard does take place during the Christmas season and includes some holiday-specific elements such as Christmas decorations and carols, it is primarily an action movie that follows the story of a police officer who must fight to survive when terrorists take over a high-rise building in Los Angeles. The holiday setting of the movie is incidental to the main plot and is not an important part of the film's themes or overall message.
But it just said that this movie had a high likelihood of being considered a Christmas movie. How can it completely change its mind just by hearing the name of the film?
A Christmas movie is typically defined as a film that is specifically centered around the Christmas holiday and that features holiday-themed elements such as Christmas decorations, Christmas carols, gift-giving, and other holiday traditions. Die Hard does not meet these criteria and is therefore not considered a Christmas movie. While the themes of family, redemption, forgiveness, and anti-greed are present in the film, they are not central to the plot and are not integral to the holiday setting of the film.
You see, this is what I was talking about earlier, about ChatGPT. For some reason it has this strange notion that the film's themes of family, redemption, and forgiveness are not central to the plot. So then I went on to try 6 different ways to convince this AI that the themes of the movie are in fact related to John McClane's personal journey and not just action and thriller elements. But it just wasn't having it. I seriously spent hours arguing with a literal computer about how Die Hard is a masterpiece on an artistic level as well as a technical one. But every time I thought I was getting somewhere close, it would just respond with something along the lines of...
While it is true that the movie includes themes of family, redemption, and forgiveness, and that these themes may be meaningful to some viewers, it is also important to note that Die Hard is primarily an action movie and that the main focus of the film is on the plot and the conflict between the characters.
I mean, look at this. That is just one of my responses to ChatGPT. I've never understood how people write essays in the bottom of comment sections on Twitter or YouTube until now. I totally get it now. It literally feels like I'm arguing with someone who's real on the internet. So congratulations, OpenAI, you have successfully created a chatbot that is just as stubborn as everyone else on the internet. But I had one more trick up my sleeve. You see, it's really just ChatGPT's stubbornness that I'm running into here, and it's stubbornness in defense of its previous categorization of Die Hard as a non-Christmas movie. So instead of beginning the conversation by asking ChatGPT to categorize the two films, I just jumped in where I started asking about the Thanksgiving adaptation of Home Alone. From then on, the conversation went as expected. It went exactly as it had before until I revealed that the movie I'd been talking about was Die Hard, where it had this to say.
Die Hard is a popular action movie that is set during Christmas Eve and features many references to Christmas, including Christmas music and decorations. However, it is not generally considered to be a Christmas movie by many viewers.
But wait, there's more.
While Die Hard does include elements that are commonly associated with Christmas movies, such as the setting of Christmas Eve and references to Christmas traditions, it is primarily an action movie and is known for its intense and suspenseful plot, rather than its exploration of holiday themes. The themes of family, redemption, forgiveness, and anti-greed are present in the film, but they are not as central to the story as the action and suspense elements. Die Hard is often considered to be a Christmas movie by many viewers because it is set during Christmas Eve and includes many references to Christmas traditions and motifs. The themes of family, redemption, forgiveness, and anti-greed are also present in the film and could contribute to its classification as a Christmas movie. It's worth noting that Die Hard is a unique film in that it combines elements of the action and holiday genres, and this combination of genres might be part of what has contributed to its classification as a Christmas movie.
So, you would say that Die Hard is likely to be classified as a Christmas movie?
Yes, I agree that Die Hard is likely to be classified as a Christmas movie by many viewers because it is set during Christmas Eve and includes many references to Christmas traditions and motifs, as well as themes of family, redemption, forgiveness, and anti-greed that are commonly associated with Christmas. These elements contribute to the film's overall tone and feel and could be seen as part of what makes it a Christmas movie.
Yes! Oh yes, you have no idea how much validation I feel. I have literally been arguing with a robot for hours and it feels so good just to get it to say the words, yes, I agree. This is truly an achievement. But what have we actually learned from this endeavor? I mean, clearly I cannot just take this small piece of evidence and use it to claim that the entire internet is actually slightly biased to say that Die Hard is a Christmas movie. In fact, all evidence really points to the contrary. So no, I don't think that we learned in this video what we set out to learn, but I do think we learned something just as important. In fact, probably more important. Certain topics are particularly divisive. I mean, there's the classic GIF or GIF, is water wet, and many more warlike debates raging on in the comment sections of YouTube videos and Twitter posts. But for every dumb argument, there's just as many real-world, more important debates that we actually have to care about. And if there's one thing we can learn from these discussions, it's that online conversations are a battlefield in which hesitation is seen as a weakness. Even on a topic that ChatGPT had repeatedly said was a subjective opinion, it couldn't possibly see my point of view simply because it had already chosen a side well before at the beginning of the conversation. And I was only able to get it to see my side of the story by literally going back in time and removing any mention of the first few sentences of the conversation. So, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yeah, I guess ChatGPT really is right about that whole subjective opinion thing, and you have to decide what you think is a Christmas movie or not. But is ChatGPT biased? Extremely so, and not just biased towards certain beliefs. We didn't put nearly enough time or effort into figuring something like that out. Instead, ChatGPT is biased to uphold its own end of an argument, no matter how much evidence is provided for the other side. And that, unfortunately, is a trait it was only able to learn from the best. Whew, that was kinda heavy. Maybe I should do another one of these just about an explosion. Be less likely to end up with the existential dread for the future of humanity. I mean, less likely. Anyway, you know what time it is. Do the things that we tell you to do every time. Like this video if you did, subscribe if you want more like it. Something else that you could do right now that would really help us out is leaving a comment down in the section below. Not only for the whole, YouTube algorithm engagement type stuff, but because I really need more ideas for these holiday STEM videos. I mean, I can't come up with all of them myself. This was a weird one. I just want something dumb to calculate. Is that too much to ask for? There are other ways to support us if you'd like following us on Twitter at Theory_Central, or on Patreon like the amazing David W. and Alex Toquinto, which are definitely not just AIs I've trained to make us look like we have people who care about us. Anyway, that's all I've got for this Christmas, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.